Okay, so we have entered the maze here in Ispo, and we've found the ATK monter, and we're here with Davide. How are you doing?
Very good, and you? What about you?
Just getting started, so I haven't really felt yet. I've heard the rumor that you have developed a new Freerider 14. Tell us a little more about this binding.
Yes, you're right. We are in front of the new Freerider 14 binding for 1920 season. ATK engineers and designers focused mainly on the top part of the binding. We tried to, and we achieved the goal to have a much more easier and a more comfortable toe part. The step-in of this binding is astonishingly easy, super easy, very easy to handle the front lever. The step-in of the boot has been improved a lot compared to the last version of these bindings. The main update is on the front lever, which is now representing a stop for the front part. The boot tip is now stepping in easy thanks to the front lever, which is stopping the boot when going forward into the top part. Another big step forward in this system is the snow pack. We call this system snow pack proof. Usual tech bindings with springs show a little bit of problems when doing several uphills and downhill in sequence. With this system we avoid any entrance to dirt, debris or ice inside of the toe part. With this system we grant much higher safety and easier handling, because you don't need to clean the toe part out from snow or ice, and it's always stable during the day.
And what construction-wise, how do you prevent snow and ice from getting into the toe part?
Simply closing any entrance to snow or ice. Yeah. So it's a very clean design, and this design came from our Revolution technology. Revolution is our World Cup racing binding. We developed this technology in this field, so in the racing field already in 2014, and we developed it in the last 5 years to bring it to the regular users and freeriders.
So we freeriders can benefit from the skimmo and the lightweight guys as well.
That's the heritage of ATK. We have born from racing and we have moved to the touring and then free touring collections. So we use the racing field to develop, to test materials, to go a little bit further to the limit and then go back a little bit to keep the extreme lightness of our technology, productive technology with CNC-machines, but with the good safety and solidity that is necessary for free touring activities out there on the mountains.
Talking a little more about the toe piece, I see there's some adjustments that can be made here. Tell us a little more about that, Davide.
Yeah. Yes, we introduced an adjustment system in the front part. We call it a pill variator hardness. We can set 3 different setting levels: low, mid and high. With this system, the aim of this system is to match perfectly with the different tech fitting sizes on the market. As you know, the tech fittings are not super stable in size, so we can adapt a little bit and always offer the same locking hardness in the toe part with different sizes of tech fittings. At the same time, this toe part is always more comfortable when set in a proper setting level for different styles of users. So lightweight users may need the low setting, and very strong and heavy ones may need the mid or high one. And at the same time, when lowering or putting an higher value or setting on this system, you are always reducing or opening the distance in between the 2 pins, and so you are also changing the reaction of the toe part when stepping in. We can have a look on that. The step in, low setting. We can set it with a screwdriver. Pretty easy to do that. Just rotate the setting. We moved it directly to the I version, I setting, sorry. Step in, much stiffer locking of the toe part. This system in combination is also in combination with the front lever in the downhill mode is not working. So it's just a system made out for the uphill stiffness, the stiffness during the uphill mode.
So no, it doesn't matter which setting you have for the downhill performance.
It doesn't matter. The setting is just standard and one setting for the downhill mode, which is cooperating with the hill part to provide the side releases and vertical releases.
I was a little lost there. What actually happens when you change the setting? Is it the pins go closer, or what happens?
Yeah, the pins go closer because we move the complete locking mechanism. So we move the front leverage towards, or we move it back from the locking arms, and it means that the two pins are getting closer or they are going out, and it changes a little bit the locking stiffness of the toe part.
So that's why you said that they can fit different tech systems then?
Exactly. On the market there are different tech fittings. Different companies are producing tech fittings, and all of these are a little bit different, and we can adapt perfectly. That's another premium technology that we offer with our toe parts.
The millimeters are important.
Exactly. Very important for us, as grams are.
Okay, well, we'll continue a little bit with the heel part. And it does still have the same, the 5 leverages, or has it changed there?
Of course, we still offer the Magneto heel flaps on our new heel parts. The Magneto heel flap always offers 5 different levers of uphill modes. I can show you, stepping in with the top part, lock it out for the uphill, first uphill mode, second one, then you can also rotate the heel head to go flat, fourth and fifth. These are the 5 walking modes that we offer.
And another big difference that I notice here on the toe part is that there's no brake. So you've moved it back, or what have you done?
Yeah, we moved the brake back on the heel part. We still believe that the front brake is very good for alpine touring activities, because the front brake is the only ski brake available on tech bindings which does not need to be locked out for the uphill. So it's always active. When the boot is out, the brake is active. In this version, it's a kind of more alpine-oriented brake. Which is more comfortable for a mixed use, let me say. So for a single binding, multiple activities binding, it's more alpine oriented, let me say, with the rear brake. We have a button here, a side button that allows you to stabilize the ski brake for the uphill and release it for the downhill. So in this mode, as you can see, we have the downhill setting of the brake. To lock it out, we just have to push the button, and then stabilize the brake in this way, and it's completely stabilized. So the brake also shows an elastic plate that allows to keep the side release values of the bindings, and I think that this system is very well integrated with the new Freeride spacer, which is the core of the Freerider binding. As you know, tech bindings are always showing a little bit of gap in the boot stability compared to alpine boot bindings. With the Freerider spacer, also in the old version and the new one, we close the gap in between alpine bindings and tech bindings.
And tell us a little more, the Freeride spacer. This is these things here. What is it?
This is an adjustable spacer which gets in touch with the boot sole and closes the gap in between the ski top sheet and the boot sole of the boot sole. So when you step into the binding, the torsional movements of the boots are completely erased, and the stability of the downhill, therefore the performance of the binding, the downhill performance of the binding is much higher compared to our regular tech bindings, or which is the core of the Freerider binding. This option, this is a standard offering for the Freerider 14 binding, but also available as an accessory for the Raider 12 binding.
So you're not hanging in the back pins, so to speak, anymore. You're standing stable on these spacers.
Exactly. You are the pressure from jumps or compressions is directly transferred from the boot heel to the ski top sheet. With this Freeride spacer, we also integrated an elastic sledge also on the spacer, because when the side release occurs, the top part of the spacer slides on the sideways, depending on the side of the release. I can show you. As you can see here, we have elastic sledges, which together with the elastic sledge of the ski brake are granting that the side release is allowed as usual, as without any Freeride spacer on the Raider 12.
And how about elasticity? Is it still 8 millimeters in the back?
Exactly, you're right. With this system, we offer 4 millimeter distance in between boot and binding, thanks to our cam release system. This distance is shows the first 4 millimeter elasticity, which are carried out from the flex of the ski. The other 4 millimeters are offered by the spring inside here, which is integrated with the elastic response system from us, which is the elastic system that gives forward pressure to the binding. So in total, 8 millimeter elasticity for the heel part.
Great. And if we go back to weight and so on, what will Freerider 14 weigh?
Yeah, the weight is another great core topic for ATK. Here we are showing a binding which is weighing 360 grams, including Freeride spacer. A way lighter than the older version, and we are talking around 40 grams lighter. The Raider 12 version is just difference for the fact that is not carrying the Freeride spacer and is weighing 330 grams. So 30 grams lighter.
Yeah, okay. And the first weight, you said that is also, of course, including the brakes.
The save of the weight comes partially from the brakes, which are moving from the front part to the rear part, but also from the new technology in the toe part, which is saving a lot of weight in steel pins, which are weighing a lot, and steel springs at the same time. So we use lighter materials in the toe part. Yeah.
And how about this that goes up to DIN 14? You have a smaller sibling, number 12, right?
Yeah, of course. We are carrying an adjustment range from 8 to 14 with the Freerider 14. With the Raider 12 version, which is offered in 3 different colors, we carry a release range in between 5 and 12. Which is fitting more to the regular free touring or touring activities. So it's the Freerider 14 is obviously addressed to aggressive skiers with wide skis above 100 millimeters, long leverage, so at least 180, and high speeds.
Ooh, I really like it when you talk about these things. And if we talk about the money, what will Freerider 14 cost in this version?
So the Italian price list or European price list is based at the same level of the last year one. So 555 euros for the 12 version and 595 for the 14 version.
And from our viewers, who have a lot of comments on when will ATK challenge the Solomon shift binding? How does it go with your Pauster and what's happening there?
So the Pauster project was delayed for patent reasons. At the same time, when we discovered it, we immediately started a new project. But as you know, these kind of projects are much more complicated and are belonging to a different heritage from us than the one that we have. So we really want to carry out a binding which is another ATK binding and not just another binding. So we are developing it a lot to bring to our customers, to our users, a real revolution on this field. And that's why we are not showing this binding right now at ISPO 2019. and we wish that we will be able to carry it for the next season. But again, with this project, we are on a really high level of development, and we really care that when we bring this kind of very complicated projects on the market, everything will be working on the binding.
Sounds good. Think about the long term. Thanks a lot, David, and yeah, thanks.
Thank you, guys, and see you on the snow.
Oh, one more thing. You have to subscribe to Freeride's YouTube channel. And do you know where to do that?
Yeah, I think I know it. No, sorry.
Oh, you have to just click here, down here. You click on the bottom, and on the clock if you want push notices as well. So thanks a lot, David.
Thank you.